Right now this morning, the campaign trail comes to Eau Claire, a recap of VP nominee J.D. Vance's visit to the Chippewa Valley. And drowning is the #1 cause of death for kids with autism. Coming up, the importance of getting your child's swim lessons.
Well, that's important. Hey, but how about some showers now coming up as we go into tomorrow? But the good news is we're now warm. We're out of the hot. We're going to 83 to 87 degrees. When I come back, I'll have your full forecast coming up in your quick cast. Stick around.
Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us for News 8 Now this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Wednesday, September 18th. Yeah, you changed it to warm. You got rid of that blazing red graphic.
Got rid of it for you.
Moving in the right direction, aren't we?
And slowly but surely. And then we'll take it to cool by the time we finish out the weekend. How about that as well? All right, so we roll right into how this all looks for us. We're going to see the radar is quiet right now. We could see the possibility of an evening sprinkle, not out of the question for tonight, but some of it's going to hit the, maybe hit the ground by Eau Claire, and by the time it gets closer to us, we could see possibly maybe a sprinkle or just maybe a droplet or two. Some of it may just dry out. We'll go into the today, and we're looking at clouds increasing as we go through the morning hours. You have at least partly cloudy skies as you go west of the river, and then eventually as we go into the late morning hours in the late afternoon, we'll see that partly cloudy skies will ensue. Right now we're in the 60s widespread with some 50s kind of sprinkled in there as well down to the south. We'll also hold on to temperature changes here. We're at least 1 to about 9 degrees cooler in some locations, believe it or not. Hey, we go into tomorrow, though. We have the possibility of thunderstorm activity over to our west, over in Minnesota and down to Iowa possibly, but we're going to be seeing maybe the possibility of, again, maybe a shower or two, and maybe, of course, we go into it, maybe a very low chance of a storm. All right, that being said, observed winds, they are light right now. We're up to about 6 miles per hour, just a few miles per hour lighter than we had yesterday. The gust tracker, we'll see that also begin to pick up as well as we go through the afternoon. In fact, we'll see that pick up as we go into the overnight hours. When I come back, I'll give you a better overview of how this all plays out, so please stick around.
Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance was back in western Wisconsin hosting a rally in Eau Claire yesterday. News 8 Now's Allison Fergit was there and has the breakdown.
Let the rest of the world have
Vance getting supporters excited to vote as campaigns ramp up efforts with less than 50 days until the election.
Take yourself, 9 friends and family, and get them to the polls. And if we do that, we do it together, we're going to win this state.
Vance focusing his speech on the message, "Make America Safe Again," hitting hard on immigration and the border. He accused Harris of opening up the southern border and putting children in harm's way.
We have taken from every American child what should be their birthright in this country. We have taken public safety away, and it's time to give it back to them. And that's exactly what President Trump is going to do.
Vance brought up a recent incident in Prairie du Chien, where an undocumented Venezuelan immigrant was arrested after assaulting a woman and child.
He had every red flag, every siren was going off. Not only should he have not illegally immigrated into our country, but he should have been deported after he was arrested.
He promised under a Trump presidency, the border would be secure and there would be more deportations.
When Donald J. Trump is president, all of them are going home. We're going to deport the criminal migrants in this country.
This is Vance's second time in Eau Claire since becoming the Republican vice presidential nominee. Both major presidential tickets have focused on western Wisconsin as the election gets closer.
There's no need to beat around the bush here. Wisconsin is one of the most important states in the country, and this is one of the most important parts of the state of Wisconsin.
And with 7 weeks until the election, Vance could soon be back in the area.
I'm going to come back as much as these fine people will have me.
Reporting in Eau Claire, Allison Fergit, News 8 Now.
But look,
At the end of the speech, Vance answered questions about claims that Haitian immigrants are eating pets in Springfield, Ohio. There is no evidence to support that, but Vance doubled down on the issue, saying he was going to pay attention to the issues constituents bring to him. The White House requesting additional Secret Service funding from Congress for the 2024 election period. The Biden administration submitted this special funding request to congressional committees in August. Without extra funds, the White House warns of insufficient resources for ongoing Secret Service protection. It comes as Congress and the White House are expected to negotiate a deal in the coming weeks to fund the government, at least through the upcoming election.
You have to, and we have to give him more support. Whether it's Rangers, whether it's Navy SEALs, whether it's more DHS, I don't care. We got 48 days, and if we have something disastrous happen this time frame between now and the election, we know what could happen.
Congress and the White House plan to negotiate government funding through November's election. Senate Republicans have blocked a bill guaranteeing Americans access to in vitro fertilization. 2 female Republicans joined Democrats in favor, but it still fell 9 votes short. Republicans rejected the same bill in June. In a virtual call, Senator Tammy Baldwin said states like Alabama have shown it's easy for IVF access to be put at risk. She said Wisconsin women deserve to know who supports their rights to control their bodies.
And while Alabama women have had access to family planning services restored, make no mistake, Americans' rights to IVF and other reproductive care is still in jeopardy.
Democrats are bringing the bill up again because Donald Trump last month said if he's elected, he'll have the government or force insurance companies to pay for IVF. The GOP has also offered its own IVF bill, but Democrats blocked it because they argued it had loopholes to let states restrict IVF access. Hundreds of handheld pagers exploded in Lebanon and Syria, killing 9 and injuring nearly 3,000 others. We do want to warn you, some of the footage could be disturbing. The New York Times reports explosive material was placed inside a batch of Taiwanese-made pagers imported into Lebanon. Hezbollah and the Lebanese government are accusing Israel of launching the remote attack. The Israeli military has not yet responded. U.S. officials say they were not involved and they had no warning of the attack. This morning, entertainment mogul Sean Diddy Combs is waking up in a Manhattan jail. A judge denied his bail yesterday after he pleaded not guilty to federal charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs' attorney may try again today to get him out before trial. CBS's Jared Hill has the latest.
From the top of the entertainment industry to serious criminal charges, this morning lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs insist he's innocent.
Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end.
Federal prosecutors charged the 54-year-old with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution, alleging Combs used his business empire to lead a criminal enterprise that abused, threatened, and coerced women into sexual acts during events called freak-offs.
Freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
The charges come after security raids at Combs' Miami and Los Angeles homes in March. Prosecutors say agents seized recordings of sex acts, narcotics, and guns, including 3 AR-15s with the serial numbers defaced, allegedly used to intimidate victims and witnesses. The U.S. attorney also referenced this disturbing hotel surveillance video from 2016, showing Combs assaulting former girlfriend Cassie Ventura. Combs' lawyer argued the acts were consensual.
He didn't do these things. There's no coercion. There's no crime.
If convicted, Combs faces a mandatory minimum of 15 years in prison.
Combs' lawyer says they'll be back in court this afternoon appealing the judge's decision to hold him until trial without bail. The Eau Claire man accused of a 2016 murder is competent to stand trial. That was the ruling in Eau Claire County Court yesterday. 44-year-old Shane Helmbrecht is accused of killing his neighbor 8 years ago. He was previously found incompetent and ordered to live at a mental health facility. He left that facility last year, and authorities arrested him in Mexico. A cashed-in man accused of child sex crimes is pleading not guilty. 21-year-old Aiden Harris faces 22 counts, including repeated child sexual assault, enticement, and possession of child pornography. According to the criminal complaint, Harris kissed and groped a 14-year-old girl when he was 19 and coerced a 15-year-old into sexual contact. He's also accused of sending or requesting explicit photos on social media. He's being held on a $50,000 cash bond. A Chippewa County man accused of selling drugs leading to an overdose death pleaded not guilty. 43-year-old Casey Schooneman facing several charges, including first-degree reckless homicide as a party to a crime. According to the criminal complaint, deputies found a victim unresponsive in a ditch 30 minutes after she allegedly bought meth from him. His next court appearance is October 28th. No children are hurt after a 3-car crash involving a school bus in Menominee. The Menominee Fire Department says it responded to an accident on County Road B. A school bus, SUV, and truck collided in the same lane. One driver was sent to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Kids on the bus were not hurt, as we said. County officials are investigating. More than $4 million is being awarded to veterans who were misdiagnosed by a former Tomah VA doctor. Dr. Mary Jo Lanska allegedly denied health care to hundreds of vets. 649 veterans were affected by her exams, officials say. Senator Baldwin's office says the VA is now awarding $4.2 million in benefits to them. So far, 150 claims have been filed, with 101 approved for payment. The time now is 5:10. Still ahead on your morning news, the United Auto Workers Union plans to hold a strike vote against Stellantis. Sam's Club is increasing its minimum wage, and Tupperware is filing for bankruptcy. Whether you rent or are trying to buy a home, housing is very expensive right now and hard to come by. Coming up, more on the cost of housing and how the Federal Reserve plays into everything. And for now, sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Hong Kong authorities staged a 10-minute nighttime drone show over the Victoria Harbor last night to mark the Mid-Autumn Festival. The drone show featured images of rabbits and the Chinese traditional dessert of mooncakes. There they are there. It comes as drone shows are now taking over for the traditional fireworks at holiday festivals and gatherings throughout East Asia. As you start to wake up this morning, leaving you with a quick wake-up call with the home of the first KFC franchise. Can you guess what it is? Salt Lake City, Utah, not Kentucky. Stay with us. Your Morning Consumer News is coming up.
Knutson Roofing, locally owned with 20 years of experience to get your project done right the first time. Whether it's roofing, window, or siding installation, we offer reliable, dependable, and quality work we stand behind. Knutson Roofing. Call or visit us online today.
Tomah Health offers the latest surgical techniques for a wide range of procedures, including orthopedics, endoscopy, gynecology, and cataract surgery. Our board-certified physicians meet the needs of every patient with the Mako Smart Robotics and Da Vinci surgical systems.
Tomah Health has an excellent reputation, and we have access to the latest technologies, including computer-assisted total joint replacement.
Visit tomahhealth.org for expert surgical care.
If you want selection, then that's what we've got at King Furniture. More sofas, more recliners, more mattresses, more of everything. You're going to find whatever you want, and you're going to find plenty of it. And it's all priced to go with 0% easy payment plans available. And as always, free delivery. Just try that anywhere else. Come visit us today.
King Furniture.
Nice people, nice furniture.
It just keeps getting worse.
Well, that was too close.
It really ruined everything.
This was it?
I understand. The effects of water can be surprising. Mold feeding on moisture in your crawl space, flooded basements, uneven concrete, and shifting foundations. But it's okay. We got it.
The effects of water can be surprising, but you can. Put water back in its place with a free inspection from Innovative Basement Authority. And now receive no interest on any repairs if paid in full in 24 months. Call or go online today.
Are you thinking about new windows and doors? A new bathroom, a new kitchen, maybe a sunroom, siding, or a deck? Get started today with special savings while we celebrate serving homeowners for over 35 years. While we celebrate Danielle becoming the new general manager.
And celebrate Dad's 80th birthday.
Best products.
The best people.
Best prices.
35th anniversary at the Board Store.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Knutson Roofing, locally owned with 20 years of experience to get your project done right the first time. Whether it's roofing, window, or siding installation, we offer reliable, dependable, and quality work we stand behind. Knutson Roofing. Call or visit us online today.
Well, happy Wednesday to you. That's a good-looking day in store for us today. We're looking at partly cloudy skies, and then we have some storms coming in for Thursday. By the time we get in the weekend, we're going to see temperatures have dropped down to at least cooler conditions, so that's nice, right? Starting to feel like fall, possibly just for this week, maybe going into early next week as well. Eau Claire, you're starting out with at least partly cloudy skies, losing the cloud cover somewhat, going to mostly sunny skies as you go into the 8 o'clock hour, in the 9 o'clock hour through the mid-morning hours, and then back to partly cloudy skies for the 11 o'clock portion. You're also going to be seeing La Crosse holding on to temperatures around 61 degrees, picking up about 75 by the 11 o'clock hour, but you're going to be in and out of the cloud cover as well, getting into mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. For the bus, 62 degrees for the kiddos starting out, 82 for the afternoon once they return home. And of course, you're going to see the similar clouds that I just talked about, 59 for the kids in La Crosse, and then coming home, you're looking at 86 degrees for you. And the kids going to college later on, you'll see at least temperatures holding on to the low 60s to start your early morning. All right, so for Wednesday, you're looking at least the possibility of some clearing skies, then opening up the clouds as we go right into the late morning hours. Mostly sunny skies, as you can see here. By the time you get to 11 o'clock, you're looking at widespread 70s. We'll hold on to maybe a slight chance of a shower or two going into areas by Minneapolis, but a lot of that's going to dry out. You'll also see by the time we get the 4 o'clock hours looking pretty nice for us, and then we'll get into the evening hours with increasing clouds for us, and sometimes you may even see as we get into the midnight hour a slight chance of a shower or two, or a sprinkle, I should say. Rainfall comes back into the picture once we go into Thursday. You're going to see that continue on all the way throughout the day, come back again into the evening and overnight hours. By the time we get into that, we'll have drier conditions for you on Friday. More about this coming up for you in a bit. Stick around for my next weather.
In your consumer news this morning, the United Auto Workers Union plans to hold a strike authorization vote against Stellantis. In a speech to members, UAW's president said the automaker is not living up to guarantees it made in a 2023 deal. That agreement came at the end of a 6-week strike. Stellantis said it has not violated commitments made in that agreement. The company makes vehicles in North America under the Jeep, Ram, Dodge, and Chrysler brands. Sam's Club is raising pay to incentivize workers to stay with the company. It'll increase its minimum wage from $15 to $16 an hour starting in November. Sam's Club will also raise wages for its nearly 100,000 employees, ranging from 3% to 6% depending on their tenure. Sam's Club main competitor Costco pays among the highest wages in retail with a minimum of $19.50 an hour. Tupperware and some of its subsidiaries have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The company, known for its plastic food storage containers and sales parties, announced the filing in a statement. Tupperware is seeking court approval to facilitate a sale process for the business. The Florida-based company says it's also seeking court approval to continue operating during the bankruptcy proceedings. Founded in 1946, Tupperware has struggled with declining sales in recent years. Too many options these days, right? Whether you rent or are trying to buy a home, it is a difficult time right now, to say the least. Jolene Kent looks at the reasons why.
For Erica Duvall in Pennsylvania's Susquehanna Township, each time her rent goes up, it hits hard.
It's hard to budget when everything is constantly changing.
Overall, Americans have seen their rent jump 26% since 2020.
The market's been absolutely nuts.
For prospective home buyers like the Enov family, prices have been prohibitively high, up 29% since early 2020.
We were waiting for prices to come down or interest rates to come down, and we made the decision it's time to buy, even if it's at an inflated cost.
In some areas, home buyers are facing shrinkflation. That's where you pay the same or more money for less space. In fact, the median American home size is now 126 square feet smaller than it was 5 years ago, yet it costs nearly $124,000 more. The fundamental problem, not enough homes to go around.
We built fewer homes in the 2010s than in any decade going all the way back to the 1960s. And because we built so few homes, we really didn't build for the new families that would be forming. That is why we have this 4 million plus unit housing shortage.
What are some of the bright spots here?
Well, the good news is that mortgage rates are coming down. We're anticipating that there will be more new listings, and we're actually starting to head in the right direction.
But Erica Duvall doesn't feel that just yet.
Do you feel like buying a home is within reach?
No, definitely not. And I'm definitely nervous to make any sort of commitment in this economy.
That's it for your morning consumer news. Time now is 5:19. Let's check in with Art for a look at our forecast.
All right, my friend, as you go right into it, take a look here as we go. You're going to be seeing, so we get into partly cloudy skies today. Then we get into Thursday, storms pop into the picture here. And we have weekend showers coming in, and we'll see more of that, maybe a 40 to 50% chance of showers and storms. Maybe a storm, I should say. And then we're getting into some showers with cooler conditions involved. Hey, take a look here. I've got the water vapor imagery. You've got the moisture that's slowly but surely kind of cutting across. That's all ahead of this troughing pattern that's working its way across the northern tier of the United States. Dry conditions down to the south, humid conditions still holding on and just waning now over into the near the Atlantic, and eventually over by the west coast you have another system that's coming in as well. So that's one of two that are on the way. Now, being said, we get this cloud cover that's slowly but surely working its way, pushing into Minneapolis, and we'll get some clouds out of that eventually. And in fact, we'll also see as we go into it, this high pressure ridge is also kind of being the spur of all of this, kind of just shuttling this across much of the United States here slowly but surely. Warm conditions will ensue for us continuing on. There's that second trough of low pressure working over California there. This low will start to move up to Canada, and eventually the secondary low starts to edge closer to us as we go right into the weekend, with the possibility of greater storm activity or shower activity moving to the picture. It is still a slight chance of a storm or two working into our forecast. That being said, take a look here as we go into Thursday in the morning hours. You're seeing multiple portions of this with maybe a storm or two working its way across, and once it gets across the Mississippi, it slowly begins to wane, and we get back down to the showers. Not much happening for La Crosse, but Eau Claire is already in the mix, as well as Ladysmith. Then we see it kind of taper down going into the afternoon, and we'll pick it up again into the evening hours, going to the evening commute and the tail end of that as well. Then it begins to sag down with increasing more showers going right into the 11 o'clock hour and the midnight hour. That's when La Crosse finally starts to pick up some rainfall potential into the forecast. But for now, you'll see it as we go right into 11 o'clock for Thursday. Not much doing for us locally. Remember yesterday it was showing us up to an inch of rainfall, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. La Crosse is still not picking up anything as we get into the 6 o'clock hour going into Friday. So today, though, 82 to 86 degrees as we go into today, possibly for our forecast. You'll also see again as we go into the next few days, warmer conditions will ensue despite having some rainfall popping into the picture for tomorrow. 86 again for Thursday, 30% chance of rain, dry on Friday, 85 degrees. Temperatures still continue to cool down. We'll see temperatures by Saturday and Sunday going from the mild, I should say the warm to the mild, and then eventually once we get into Monday and Tuesday, we're back into the cool, and that lingers all the way into Wednesday as well for middle of the week. I'll have more about this coming up for you and a better view of it in just a moment.
Thank you, Art. Still ahead on your morning news, superbug deaths could skyrocket by 2050. A new study is warning. Ahead, what's driving the surge and who's most at risk?
Coming up in sports history in Mabel, Kate, and the Cougars, we're going for their 20th straight win, but see why the star of the show was someone going for their 4,000th career assist. Find out more coming up in the Morning Blitz.
I'm not old enough to vote yet, but I learned how 1 out of 6 of us will someday be raped.
So please, think about me when you vote. I learned how our freedom to have an abortion was taken away. Even in cases of rape or incest.
Even to travel to get an abortion.
Please, think about me.
You know who got rid of Roe v. Wade.
Now women are being refused life-saving care at hospitals. And politicians are trying to ban birth control. Please, think about me.
My parents call me their miracle daughter because I was born with IVF. But IVF could be banned too.
Do they think we're less than human?
Do they think we can't make decisions about our own bodies? About our own lives? When you vote, please think about me.
And me.
And me.
Because the politician who got rid of Roe v. Wade, he couldn't care less.
Thousands of our heroes face the difficult choice between keeping their heat and power on or facing homelessness. 21,000 Wisconsin veterans are living below the poverty line. Wisconsin loses 3 veterans to suicide every week. Together, our mission is to provide all struggling Wisconsin veterans with a critical survival safety net. You can make a real difference by providing a donation to the Wisconsin Heat and Housing for Heroes initiative.
I want to turn to the issue of abortion.
For 52 years, they've been trying to get Roe v. Wade
into the states. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it. And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it.
I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. They don't want that. I think the American people believe that certain freedoms, in particular the freedom to make decisions about one's own body, should not be made by the government. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
I don't need much, just the chance to work hard and take care of my family. But Biden-Harris and the Washington Democrats have made that tough. Inflation is crushing us. Go to the parts store, the grocery store, the gas station. You feel it everywhere. And what has Tammy Baldwin done? Not a damn thing. She's been right there with them, raising taxes, spending more, backing Biden-Harris, hurting Wisconsin.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows, installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. The Mabel Canton Cougars still at the top of 1A. Last night, they were going for their 20th straight win to start the season, and we even had some history being made. To Mabel Canton we go as the Houston Hurricanes came to town to face the Cougars. And 2 plays into the game, the standout senior Sahara Morgan sets up Kinley Soini, who brings the hammer down. That also etches Morgan's name in the history books. Sahara Morgan will become only the 11th player in the state of Minnesota to eclipse 4,000 assists. What a stat, what an accomplishment, what a night. Back to the action and back to Morgan doing what she does best. This time, setting up Kaylee Ingvelson, getting the kill. Cougars take the set, and then Morgan's night gets busy, handing out kills left and right. This time it's Hope Erickson. That one into the ground. Get the party started in Mabel. Cougars roll on to sweep the Hurricanes 3-0. Down the road in Caledonia, the Warriors looking to snap a 3-match skid hosting PEM. Caledonia already with 1 set in the win column, looking to add more, and Aubrey Klug would do just that. Blazes it right past the defense. Warriors with the point, but the Bulldogs are looking to redeem themselves. Just look at the hands here by Allison Schroard to put her squad back in it. And then later in the set, Avery Agadal puts her foot on the pedal, and she did not let up. She would get not 1, but 2 aces in a row as Caledonia would keep on rolling. They get the win 3-0. Let's go to the Scenic Bluffs Conference. Cashton hosting defending state champs Waniwak Center. Cashton on the attack with the setter Marley Schroeder, sending the ball to junior Vivi Dempsey for the kill. Cashton takes the set. Second set, Cashton with the set over, but right there, Brooklyn Bolton with the pancake to keep her team in the game. But Cashton puts it back in the system, and senior Sammy Kleba sets up Dempsey for the kill, but Waniwak would hang tough. Lily Riffey sets up Bella Lemoyne for the kill. Wolves would come storming back, taking the match 3-1. Let's go to the pitch. MVC Soccer, Central hosting Toma. Both teams in the middle of the conference table needing a win. First half, Toma working up the field, and Dane Vervorn says, let me give it a try. Goalie can't handle it. Timberwolves lead 1-0. A few minutes later, Toma on the attack again, sending it in on the cross, and how about Landon Calhoun? Taps it in, beats the defense for the score. Brennan Warden on the assist. Timberwolves would take this one 7-1. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Holman Locker and Meat Market, your place for fresh, quality, local meat. Now's the time to stock up with our fall bundle. Call and order yours today. Eat healthy, shop local at your Holman Locker and Meat Market, and much, much more.
This ad is a complete lie. The truth is, Tammy Baldwin's never shared inside information with her partner. And Tammy Baldwin's leading the fight to ban senators from purchasing any individual stocks. It's Eric Hovde, who owns a $3 billion California bank. And Hovde's bank takes millions from unknown foreign interests, meaning we'd have no idea who Eric Hovde would really be working for. Eric Hovde, what's wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Tammy Baldwin on transparency.
I don't think there should be two sets of rules, one for the wealthy and one for the rest of us.
12 years later, Baldwin pushed for conflict of interest regulations, but exempted herself. And Baldwin won't disclose any shared assets she has with her partner, despite the potential for conflict of interest. Tell Tammy Baldwin, we deserve the truth. Wisconsin Principles is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Toma Health offers the latest surgical techniques for a wide range of procedures, including orthopedics, endoscopy, gynecology, and cataract surgery. Our board-certified physicians meet the needs of every patient with the Mako Smart Robotics and Da Vinci surgical systems.
Toma Health has an excellent reputation, and we have access to the latest technologies, including computer-assisted total joint replacement.
Visit tomahealth.org for expert surgical care.
It's a lot quieter around here than it used to be. I'm Rebecca Cook. When I was growing up, this farm was bustling. Holsteins, hired hands, harvesting crops. But big corporations put family farms like mine out of business. And what has Derek Van Orden done? Nothing. Tax cuts for big ag, rising healthcare costs, undermining our democracy, extremism. We need real working people in Washington. And that's why I approve this message.
Where's the best place for local, fresh, quality meat? The Holman Locker and Meat Market, of course. Purchase a minimum of 25 pounds of 90% lean ground beef, $5.69 per pound, or 85% lean for $5.49 per pound. Shop local at your Holman Locker and Meat Market, and much, much more.
Friday Night Frenzy, Friday at 10 on News 8. Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
In your morning medical news, drowning is the #1 cause of death for children with autism. It's why swimming lessons can be so crucial. CBS's Christian Benavides introduces us to a family making sure their child receives this critical instruction.
Parents Jana and Russell D'Agostino worry about their 3-year-old daughter Daniela. Like other kids with autism, she's drawn to bodies of water.
We knew having her learn to swim was critical because I don't know if she's going to jump the pool fence, or God forbid she gets in and no one's outside, or even worse, gets to the lake.
The D'Agostinos live in Florida, where pools, lakes, and beaches are accessible all year long.
My only hesitation was just if she was going to listen or not.
They enrolled her in swimming lessons that focus on survival skills in the water. Erin Cates is an instructor with the Baby Otter Swim School.
She falls in, she's going to know exactly what to do. She's going to turn around, she's going to turn, kick, and reach, and she's going to get up to that wall, and she's going to hold and wait for us.
The Autism Society of Florida says drowning is the leading cause of death for children on the autism spectrum.
The drowning rate for kids with autism is 160 times greater than other children.
It's in part due to autism elopement, when children run or wander away from caregivers. Most drownings occur in backyard swimming pools, and nearly 1 in 3 parents of a child with autism reports they've had close calls. Mindy York is president of the Baby Otter Swim School.
This is as important as a car seat, and make it a priority.
Kick and reach.
Critical lessons that are saving lives.
So important. The Autism Society says 91% of deaths in children with autism 14 or younger are due to drowning. A startling new forecast on the potential impact of the ongoing superbug crisis is prompting the World Health Organization to call it a top public health threat. Researchers blame antibiotic misuse and overuse for creating these drug-resistant infections. Deaths among adults 70 and older surged 80% between 1990 and 2021. Experts urge better care, stronger drugs, and more resources to combat the growing crisis. Winona State University is experiencing a boom with enrollment at its highest in more than a decade. Now the university faces a welcome challenge: where to house all those students. President Kenneth Yon says it's time to build new dorms. News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall has the details.
When Kenneth Jans first started working at Winona State University, capacity in the residence halls was at more than 100%.
We actually had to double up and triple up in some rooms, and we used our study
lounges as residence hall rooms.
16 years later, dorms are at 98% capacity, and the university is planning on building a new residence hall. The new residence hall will be at the corner of Mark and Main Streets. Jan says the 340 rooms will give them the space they need, not only to house new students, but to make repairs on the existing dorms.
The plan is we'd build the new residence hall, and it would give us some breathing room to then take each year thereafter a residence hall offline to actually then, do some work on them, add air conditioning, and get it ready for students to come back and reoccupy.
Mark and Main Residence Hall will be the university's first new dorm in more than 14 years. Residence Hall Director Sarah Olcott says it will give students a better housing experience.
Bigger common areas, more privacy, temperature control, things that they really want in a living environment.
In Winona, Jeremy Wall, News 8 Now This Morning.
There is no cost estimate quite yet, but Jan says room and board fees would cover any loans for the project. Officials also don't have a start date for construction. Western Technical College getting a major upgrade thanks to a generous donation. Ashley Furniture founder Ron Wanek is gifting over $6 million for a new manufacturing center. The Wanek Center of Innovation will feature advanced robotics equipment, giving students hands-on experience with cutting-edge tech. Wanek says it's a win-win, boosting both Wisconsin students and its manufacturing industry.
This is going to be a state-of-the-art facility. There will be very few of them in Wisconsin and very few of them in the nation, so the area will be unique. And obviously we have a lot of great manufacturers in this area, and this will help them remain competitive in a global environment.
The center is expected to open next school year. The Coulee region's largest career fair is just wrapped up in Onalaska. 70 employers packed the Omni Center for the 9th annual Coulee Career Fest. More than 250 people attended, getting face-to-face time with companies offering immediate opportunities, and new this year special resource areas to help polish resumes and boost job searches. It is 5:37. Here is News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett to tell us what to expect for our morning commute.
All right, first of all, we have clouds that will start to pick up as we go into the morning hours. Right now, we're facing warm conditions later on today, and then all the way into Saturday, those warm conditions will ensue for us. How about showers all the way into Thursday? And of course, maybe again, possibly going into the weekend, where we're having a bout of heavier showers working into the picture. That being said, let's get into this, how it will all look for us. We go into it here, we're looking at the clouds slowly but surely increasing through the 8 o'clock hour. So mostly sunny skies, getting at least to partly cloudy skies once we get into the afternoon. Clouds will start to thicken up west of the Mississippi and then continue on locally here where we're in partly cloudy skies to finish out the better part of your day. That being said, we could see temperatures rising up to at least 86 degrees for us locally here for us. And then you get a bit of a break coming in once we go right into the near the midnight hour for us. Then more clouds come back again with rainfall potential. That being said, you're going to see by the time we get into at least the afternoon, maybe some showers coming in the morning, and then maybe some showers for tomorrow, and then we'll see that continue on coming back again as we go deeper into the evening hours. First Eau Claire, dropping down to La Crosse, and then that means we could possibly see that get out of the way possibly as we go into the early morning on Friday. When I come back, I'll give you a better overview how this all plays out locally, up close and personal. Back to you. All right, coming up in our Buzz Report, singer Miley Cyrus is being sued for allegedly copying Bruno Mars on her 2023 hit song, Flowers. More on the two singers and the lawsuit filed against Miley, and when we return, so please stay with us.
Are you in need of a new driveway or parking lot? Call North Central Paving for all your asphalt needs. We specialize in paving, seal coating, repairs, crack filling, and new installation. Call North Central Paving today.
Tammy Baldwin on transparency.
I don't think there should be two sets of rules, one for the wealthy and one for the rest of us.
12 years later, Baldwin pushed for conflict of interest regulations, but exempted herself. And Baldwin won't disclose any shared assets she has with her partner, despite the potential for conflict of interest. Tell Tammy Baldwin, we deserve the truth. Wisconsin Principals is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Welcome to Wesco. Welcome to huge selection and savings. Who loves a good game of Plinko? Wesco and Sparta is making sure your price is right. Come on in and play a game of Plinko to see what your discount is. Discounts up to 30% off in select departments. What discount will you get? Wesco and Sparta, where white glove delivery and setup are always free. Tell them Peyton sent you.
Bidenomics is working.
It's not. ABC News proved it with charts.
It was under control
on
during
inflation,
the Trump administration, well below
gas,
$3 a gallon, 35%
and housing.
jump in home prices, folks.
Even CNN admits it.
When it comes to the economy, groceries were less expensive, housing was more affordable when Donald Trump was president.
Yet Harris still says,
Bidenomics is working.
no, it isn't.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I don't trust Derek Van Orden to make decisions around my medical care. Everything was normal up until my ultrasound. I learned my baby would not survive. I did not have the choice to do what was right for me and my family in my home state, and that felt very deeply wrong to me. I am a conservative. I am scared for extremists like Derek Van Orden to be in office.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
Is your gravel or dirt driveway migrating into your yard? Then it's time to call North Central Paving. Specializing in paving, seal coating, repairs, crack filling, and new installations, North Central Paving can handle all your asphalt needs. Call 608-781-4423 today to get your free estimate.
All right, let's give you a better overview of how this all plays out. Today, we're going to be warm. Partly cloudy skies expected today with Thursday storms popping in the picture. I've looked at a couple of models now. It doesn't really look like we're getting a lot of rainfall here for La Crosse, oddly, with all the rainfall I just showed you so far. Weekend showers, cooler on the way. And that fact, as we go into it, you've got this moisture starting to move in. You've got this big ridge of high pressure as well, driving most of this heat to us still. Eventually, as we get into tomorrow, the more this cloud cover will start to move over us again. Right now we'll see at least up to partly cloudy skies worth. Then eventually we're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies going into tomorrow. That being said, this huge ridge of high pressure continues to bring that warm, as you can see, with shuttling all of this moisture coming in out of the Gulf as well. Slowly but surely that lifts up to Canada, bringing some good looking storms there. For us, we have this other batch coming in. This will be the weekend rainfall sneaking in, and that possibility will be being juicier conditions going into our forecast, with mild and possibly going into at least cooler conditions after that, which is going to be pretty nice and comfortable. Hey, how about this though? This is the rainfall I showed you about. Once we get into Thursday, you're going to see by the 9 a.m. hour, rainfall crosses the Mississippi. It gets to Black River Falls as well as Eau Claire, Ladysmith, but not so much. It's showing like it's trying to get to La Crosse, but not much. But then it weakens, it drops it out, even leaves maybe a shower or two, maybe a sprinkle behind it, gets out of the way by the noon hour. We go back into the 7 o'clock hour, more rainfall comes in from the north and then begins to track slowly but surely down to the south, developing more storms along the way with a little outflow boundary, and that shows like we may even have a possible storm headed our way going into Thursday, with juicier conditions again for Thursday night, with a lot of moisture in the upper atmosphere. But then it starts to kind of pass out of the way, kind of dries out a little bit. Let's show you. We go into Thursday, 11 a.m. Not much on the radar here in the bucket as well. You're going to be showing here as we go right into the midnight hour going into Friday. There's a little bit of rainfall that comes in play, maybe just 1/100 of an inch, and that's about it, man. That's just, wow, it's just unbelievable. So I'm showing you another model to show you how this all plays out. Again, this is one I showed you earlier, and still not much. This is not even showing any moisture for La Crosse at all. Highs for the day, well, we're looking at 82 to about 86 degrees for you. Then we'll get into how this all plays out for the next few days. Today, 86 degrees. We'll do the same tomorrow. Throw some showers at you, about a 30% chance. Then we go into Friday, drier conditions for you, 85 degrees. By Saturday going into Sunday, you've got a deeper amount of moisture coming in. I showed you that as well. 40% chance of shower activity. That carries over into possibly as a 50% chance from Saturday into Sunday. Then Sunday is a 40% chance of rainfall. Mild conditions will ensue. Then after that, a 30% chance for Monday, and cooler conditions ensue where temperatures are in the 70s and the 60s. That's not too bad. And that continues all the way to Wednesday of next week. Back to you.
In our Morning Buzz report, yesterday was a farewell for an icon in New Orleans. Thousands turned out to honor R&B singer Frankie Beverly. Many were decked out in all white, his signature color. A procession included a clear casket with a cardboard cutout of Beverly. He was born in Philadelphia but was a popular figure in New Orleans. He was also well known for his performances at Essence Festival over the last 40 years. Beverly passed on September 10th at the age of 77. Singer Miley Cyrus is being sued for allegedly copying Bruno Mars on her 2023 hit song Flowers. According to a lawsuit filed in LA, Cyrus and two co-songwriters are accused of copying portions of Mars's song When I Was Your Man. The music group claims Cyrus's Grammy-winning song included unauthorized exploitation of several elements of Mars's 2013 single. The lawsuit is seeking damages in an amount to be determined in court, or the maximum of $150,000 per infringement.
We all want your father to transition as peaceful as possible.
It's nice that it's us. This is the way it should be, the way he would want it.
Estranged siblings are brought together to care for their ailing father and his three daughters. Elizabeth Olsen, Natasha Lyonne, and Carrie Coon star in the emotional drama. It is out now.
Let's do this one and split.
I have to take it down.
Peter Dinklage and Josh Brolin team up in the upcoming comedy Brothers. The pair play criminal siblings alongside Glenn Close and Brendan Fraser. The film arrives in select theaters October 11th and a week later on Prime Video. Well, that one should be funny.
Yeah.
Nothing scary today.
Nothing
to scare you this morning.
That's kind of nice. Yeah, that was a
kind of a nice
round.
break.
Yeah, exactly.
And before we had to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
I'm starting to think I'm a weaker man these days. All right. Hey, Michaela, is that Michaela?
Malachi?
That's Malachi. There we go. He's turning 8 weeks old, enjoys the outdoors, tummy time, and playing with his big cousin.
If you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Yeah, that's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
Time now is 5:47. Stay with us. We have everything you need to know in 5 minutes or less. Your morning news now is coming up next.
Hi, my name is Tom, and this is Max White Water Conditioning tip number 726. Too much iron in your water? This can cause yellow, red, and brown stains on dishes, laundry, and plumbing fixtures. Call us today at 608-781-8088.
The liberal elite in Washington are running one of their own here in Wisconsin. A political insider who worked to elect liberals in California even supported a dark money group focused on defunding the police. Her name, Rebecca Cook, political operative bankrolled by the liberal elite. They handpicked her to help win back the House, trusted to elect liberal heroes like Mandela Barnes. They trust her because Rebecca Cook is one of them.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Well, that was too close. If we keep waiting, it'll get one of us.
I know these things can be a real hazard, but groundwater does this to concrete all the time.
Water did this.
Mm-hmm. But it's okay. You can lift it back up.
The effects of water can be surprising, but you can. Put water back in its place with a free inspection from Innovative Basement Authority. And now receive no interest on any repairs if paid in full in 24 months. Call or go online today.
I'm not old enough to vote yet, but I learned how 1 out of 6 of us will someday be raped.
So please, think about me when you vote. I learned how our freedom to have an abortion was taken away.
Even in cases of rape or incest. Even to travel to get an abortion. Please, think about me.
You know who got rid of Roe v. Wade.
Now women are being refused life-saving care at hospitals. And politicians are trying to ban birth control. Please, think about me. My parents call me their miracle daughter because I was born with IVF. But IVF could be banned too.
Do they think we're less than human?
Do they think we can't make decisions about our own bodies? About our own lives? When you vote, please think about me. And me.
And me.
Because the politician who got rid of Roe v. Wade, he couldn't care less.
Gas, groceries, school supplies, everything costs more. Eggs are almost twice as much as they were 4 years ago. Biden, Harris, and the Democrats keep telling us things are better. They aren't better. And Tammy Baldwin is making it worse, raising taxes, running up debt, voting for spending that's driving inflation. 25 years in Washington and she's done nothing. It's time for a change.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Hi, my name is Levi, and this is Maxwell White Water Conditioning Tip 68. Acidic water harms pipes and appliances. If you notice corrosion or metallic taste, give us a call today at 608-781-8088.
Welcome back. It's 5:50. Time for your morning news now. The Eau Claire man accused of a 2016 murder is competent to stand trial. That ruling handed down in Eau Claire County Court yesterday. 44-year-old Shane Helmbrecht is accused of killing his neighbor 8 years ago. He was previously found incompetent and ordered to live in a mental health facility. He left that facility and was arrested in Mexico last year. A Cashton man accused of child sex crimes is pleading not guilty. 21-year-old Aiden Harris facing 22 counts, including repeated child sexual assault, enticement, and possession of child pornography. According to the criminal complaint, Harris kissed and groped a 14-year-old girl when he was 19 and coerced a 15-year-old into sexual contact. He's also accused of sending or requesting explicit photos on social media. Harris is held on a $50,000 bond. He has a plea hearing next month. Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance returned to Eau Claire for the second time since joining the Trump ticket. While there, he focused on the message, "Make America Safe Again," accusing Harris of opening up the southern border. He also referenced a recent incident in Prairie du Chien where an undocumented Venezuelan immigrant was arrested after allegedly assaulting a woman and child.
He had every red flag, every siren was going off. Not only should he have not illegally immigrated into our country, but he should have been deported after he was arrested.
Following that remark, Vance told rally-goers the border, if both him and Trump were elected, the border would be more secure and there would be more deportations. More than $4 million is being awarded to veterans misdiagnosed by a former Toma VA doctor. Former VA neurologist Dr. Mary Jo Lanska is accused of refusing health care to hundreds of vets who needed it. Federal officials say 649 of them were negatively affected by her exams. Senator Tammy Baldwin's office announced the Department of Veteran Affairs is awarding more than $4.2 million in benefits to be split among those affected. Of the 649, about 150 relief claims have been filed. 101 have been granted. A big day today for the U.S. economy as the Federal Reserve is expected to reduce interest rates for the first time in 4 years. The question, of course, by how much? Many analysts predict 0.25 percentage point, but investors are hoping for half. The worry is the Fed's efforts to lower inflation could go too far and lead to a recession. A strong economy correlates to a higher standard of living, so today's Fed meeting is high stakes for Americans. Winona State University is facing a welcome challenge, enrollment at an 11-year high. To meet demand, the university is reviving plans to build a new dorm. The president says the Markin Main Residence Hall will add 340 rooms. The expansion will house new students and allow repairs to existing dorms.
The plan is we'd build the new residence hall, and it would give us some breathing room to then take each year thereafter a residence hall offline to actually then, do some work on them, add air conditioning, and get it ready for students to come back and reoccupy.
Officials say currently several dorms on campus do not have AC.
Couldn't imagine that. Hey, as we go right into the day, we have starting off with cool 60s, getting into some mild 70s, and then picking up some warm 80s working into the picture here. We'll do the same for La Crosse as well. We'll see at least partly to mostly cloudy skies as we go through the day, then into tonight as well. We'll pick up, again, the winds to be breezy, so that'll keep things shuttling around for a while. Then once we get into it, here's a look at your local temperatures, about 82 to about 86 degrees. And, all right, once again, we warm it up, then we begin to cool it on down, getting into the mild, then cooler conditions for your weekend, with rain chances starting tomorrow, coming back again for the weekend, and then back to Monday, possibly Tuesday as well.
All right, Art, the hoi-ho or yellow-eyed penguin. Can you see the yellow eyes from here? I can't. Has been announced as New Zealand's bird of the year. There are only an estimated 4,000 to 5,000 of the endemic bird left in the wild. The bird is also known for its strong smell, and they're notoriously shy, despite being called the noise shouter in Maori.
Right on. The noise shouter. That sounds like me in elementary school.
All right, there you go. The noise shouter. We'll start calling you that. Thank you for starting your morning with us. Coming up, Wisconsin's elections chief is talking to voters about how the state election will be safe. The upcoming presidential election. Coming up at 6, why she says understanding.
Trump back on the trail after the most recent apparent attempt on his life. I'm Jared Hill with his latest promise to auto workers and what Harris told a panel of black journalists.